Ladies, gentlemen, one and all, welcome to Dawn of All Soulstorm Unification once again. So yeah, the second branch has now been revealed, and it is indeed Tekarn. Who are Tekarn, you might ask? Well, there will be a primer document that will be released at some point, but I will give you a short version. Tekarn are a faction that is based in the Lithesh sector, in the Damocles Gulf, in Ultima Segmentum. They hail from the Rogue Trader days, all the way through to 2nd edition, and originally started out as loyalists before becoming renegades, much like Nippon in Warhammer Fantasy, who became renegades of Tzeentch. They have very warlike traditions, being surrounded on all sides by foes such as the Tau Empire and other Xenos. Games Workshop, being Games Workshop, decided to never mention them again after 2nd edition, much like Nippon themselves, and the Yannari, and the Leagues of Fatan. I'm sure that comment won't age poorly at all. Given that there is very little text about them outside of early 40k, they are kinda similar to the Adeptus Mechanicus Explorators, in that they are formed of existing context clues as well as homebrewing. They are very much inspired by the Empire of the Rising Sun in Red Alert 3. Like how the Vostrians are kind of like the Soviets, and Elysians are apparently going to be like the Allies. There is also some Shogun 2 and Nippon itself mixed in. So I suppose we should have a look-see, shouldn't we? Like with the Vraxians, this video is going to be split into two sections. The gameplay section, which will be now, and then the model section, where I will give you a view of the models on the highest graphic settings, minus high-res textures, and go over what they do. Briefly. Given where they are, I thought it would be interesting to do a little sort of, Damocles Crusade sort of battle. We've got Space Marines with the Ultramarines colour scheme, and we've got both Tau factions. At war, of course, because, Farsight Enclave and the Tau Empire are really friends. Obviously keep in mind that this is still in beta. There may be bugs, glitches, imbalances, and things that will not be the same by the time you see this video, let alone by the time you play it. With that said, let's murder, or get murdered by, some people who are very much fans of the colour blue. This is going to be recorded separately, so I'm just going to pause the video. I'll be back once it's loaded in. Alrighty, let's get a move on, shall we? So, to start with, Tekarn, unlike Vrax, are very specialist. So, they do not have what you would define as proper conscripts, unlike a lot of the other guard factions. They have these guys, the Militia Rangers. They are reconnaissance units that can they can get heavy stubbers and plasma cannons. They're not bad. They do decent damage as well for a sort of like basic conscripted capping unit. Another difference with Tekarn, especially when compared to Vrax, is that they do not get their heroes from the Field Dojo, which is their barracks building. They get them from the Inner Circle Teleportarium. Reason being is, oh, look at all that. There is quite a lot of them. This is partially because I have a win condition on, which adds more. By default, you only get the Eternal Shogun, the Tengu General, the Grand Guji, I think that's how it's pronounced anyway, the Shinobi, the Dark Ronin of Sangonomiya. This guy, and I believe the War Correspondent is also a standard unit. And the coughing starts. Oh well.
All of my family was samurai.
Yeah, the wind condition, which I have on, adds Daimyo Phoenix, Balalaika, and Colonel Benedict. So, yeah. You have a lot of commanders units to play around with if you so desire. Actually, finish that one first and then go over there. You go over there when you finish that.
I am listening.
So I can't remember if I mentioned in the intro, because I actually recorded that about 8 hours ago. 8 hours ago? No, not 8 hours ago. About 5. Yeah. I'm doing a Damocles Crusade inspired matchup here today, because why not? So, I have some rather scary foes to face, in the form of the Tau Empire. And, if they get out of control, the Space Marines. So we definitely want to not rest on our laurels. Because those Space Marines are going to get really, really angry. And so are the Tau. I went for a tech rush the last time I tried to record this. I wonder if the better option... no, I didn't go for a tech rush. I went for a eco build, where I delayed teching in order to... No, Farsight, none of this. So Shogun, could you please hit him? There we go. Warriors, if you wouldn't mind going over there and grenade them. Oh. That's better. Is that a strike team? It is. Yeah, so warriors do actually get grenades right from the get-go, which is kind of useful. They, like the rest of the faction, are very specialist. They don't actually get weapon upgrades. So, yes, they... Oh, there's the Marines. Can we beat Marines at this point? I suspect not. Let's stick to cover. Though I fear the Eternal Shogun is about to be not so eternal. Yeah. You don't want the Eternal Shogun to die because she gives the debuff that the Ethereal gives when she dies. Funnily enough, the funnily enough, the troops don't particularly like seeing their leader go down. Especially considering, you know, she's called the Eternal Shogun. Makes it sound like she was just hyping herself up the whole time. Okay, we have got that now. My expertise is yours. So let's get a move on and get, well, firstly another warrior and a squad cap increase, and then we will get yes, and then we will get tier up.
To understand the way the barbarians do not understand the human life itself.
Phoenix over here, please.
It is good to face challenges. How can one learn?
Ooh, that's a nasty force you have there. That's a very nasty force, actually. Yeah, we're gonna lose that, but it's fine. Please don't attack me. Yeah, funnily enough, Mr. Farsight here is not that bothered about grenades.
I am the raging storm that is approaching.
Slacking while I am gone. The
Yeah.
daimyo listens.
Please.
Be worthy of the
No.
gate.
Okay, we got to push forward a little bit.
My men await the word. Throwing rising sun.
Throw a grenade.
All in this lawless galaxy
Throw a grenade.
shall be scattered. Only
They did not throw their grenade, so throw it now. Right. Kill Arachon now.
For my power is the heart of my people.
Strike two. Make the honorable warriors proud.
Thank you. Now, tear up. I should have done that already, to be honest. Yeah, so the way that the commanders work in Tekarn
The Scaraged shall
is that they
For my power is the heart of my people.
you are limited to 3 of them. So you can get a combination of any 3 you like, but you are still limited to 3. Let's grab that. Just in case the Marines decide to try and sneak around. Let's get some Tesla reactors over here. And I do believe I've got one builder still doing nothing. Yes.
I shall build it for Tekarn.
Bing bing.
All of my family.
Oh, that's what you were doing. You were building that listening post.
The blood flows through me.
Madness.
I hope my researchers are not slacking while I am gone.
So last time I got murdered by Space Marines.
How can one learn
So maybe I should go and murder the Space Marines first.
glory to the Shogun. Blessed be her
I am on harder, so yeah, I'm probably that's probably why it's things aren't helping here. That was terrible grammar. Ooh, the Tau seem to be winning against the
resistance without complaint. And
against the
also
Marines.
is cut.
Yeah, Phoenix here has a railgun. He does quite well against things like light vehicles and buildings.
We await our
According to the command card, his preferred
the discipline of strength.
targets are
And also teaches courtesy.
infantry and heavy infantry, but I don't know, I find it better to target him against
even the best of the
vehicles and stuff.
barbarians do not compare to us.
Instills resistance without
At least at the minute.
Do not worry about surpassing
teaches
others.
courtesy.
Who knows what will happen by the time you get your hands on this.
Stand back, I say. Let me get to work. I do not worry about surpassing others. Only myself.
Let's get second mechanized command up quickly.
We bow to your wisdom, Almighty Shogun.
Get improved power research.
How may I
Actually,
serve you?
no. You get over here and you build this.
The Shogunate has been expanded.
Progress is made by the bold.
Yes, it is.
For the Shogunate.
Yeah, well. Ooh, what's that?
I am not blind.
It's a Tau commander, or rather, it was a Tau commander.
Oh, Almighty Shogun.
So we have a catalyst reactor here.
My researchers are not slacking while I am
So something interesting about this. Hopefully I get it built in time, but I don't think I will. The model changes depending on what level of power research you have.
All of my ancestors were Ashikaru and Old Nippon.
They just charge into my firing line like idiots.
Tell me what troubles
We
you.
bow to your wisdom.
I mean, I'm not
Almighty
complaining.
Shogun. Though we are not as honorable as the warriors.
That's a heavy bolter. Can you get over there and melee them?
Want something done?
Hang on.
Do it yourself.
What's this? You teaming up?
Raven-sama, it is a my ancestors were Ashikaru and Old Nippon. A heavy burden.
Where's the Eternal Shogun? She is eternally not in battle.
Speak freely.
The fact that the tower here
Of course I will.
means that the Space Marines are losing. Yeah, they're losing.
I wonder what Giorgio is doing these days.
Well, that's unfortunate for them.
Tell me what troubles Command you. me, Almighty Shogun. Destroy the savages! My men
Murder
await
it.
the word. Commandant
How
Almighty
may I
Shogun.
serve you today?
That's it.
It
Okay.
will look wonderful when it is done.
Of course I wear a helmet. A wise leader knows he serves his master
Hang on.
better alive.
Glory to the Shogun.
Where'd it go?
Blessed be her name. Take heed of my words.
Speak freely.
I've been where you are.
Our
Don't worry, I'm
domain
not as
shall
honorable as
expand.
the
I may be
warriors.
born
We
upon
honor
a
both
Can you
sides
detect?
of the
No,
way.
you can't detect. You can detect. Kind of. Unless they just got too close to that, which is possible. Let's go Tengu General.
I do not worry about surpassing
Let's
others.
also go to
Only
another bastion.
myself.
And... screw it, let's get a Griffin Thunder Mortar, why not?
My
So the Griffin Thunder Mortar is a...
The Shogun commands
it's kind of like the standard Griffin, except
only through
that...
we must
yeah. Except that it fires a different kind of projectile, a more warp-based one, which is always entertaining to
Behold, Martin, true progress.
Speak freely.
see blow people up.
destroy the savages.
I wonder what Giorgio is doing these days. I may be born a Valentine,
You
but
come back.
Tekarn is my home.
Right then, Marines.
May my power serve
Yeah, let's not let them...
Flee, Ashikaru! Flee! All of my ancestors were Ashikaru and Odnapan. A heavy burden.
What was that sound I heard?
I may be born a Valentine, but Tekarn is my home.
Part-timers, at least you have trained.
Why are you still over there?
Brats, volunteers.
Well, at least you've healed up a bit. Oh, careful. Careful. Yeah, if Phoenix loses his friend here,
Where do you cry, Ashikaru?
damn it, they have so much
Warriors, we shall provide you with
AoE.
The discipline of strength you have changed resistance. Honorable away in battle.
Okay, fine. Charge. So yeah, the Tekarn warriors do actually have a Banzai charge ability, which allows them to do extra damage in melee combat and restores their morale to full. So, if you're up against some rather nasty ranged units, then yeah, you probably want to be
this battlefield will
using
fall
that.
to us this day.
Oh, hello, stealth team. It would be a shame if you exploded. Boom! Suckers.
Make us his example.
I am listening.
They're sending more on a guard, are they? I assume I do not have expanded weapon caches, that doesn't help. Expanded weapon caches, because the warriors do not actually have weapon upgrades, just increases their damage.
To understand the warrior is to understand the human race.
Stab the chaplain.
Raiden-sama is disappointed in you.
To understand the warrior
And use
is to understand the human
lightning
race.
field.
The skies are darkened.
Use that. They're in melee, so might as well. Ah! You're killed in melee by a guardsman. How's it feel? Yeah, their melee damage output anyway is, I think, better than the standard and a standard guardsman, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. 26 to 31, yes.
Stick it, warrior.
I wonder what Giorgio is
Please kill that librarian before he smites me or something.
I fear no challenge, for my power
Where's Phoenix? He is in combat. Burn! And grenade. Boop.
to understand the
You should probably be on that stance. Kill. Yeah, I know I'm not going over all the units like I would normally, but seeing as though I did that that thing
Wheel is broken.
in the Vrax,
Why do you abandon
what ability is that? Oh, I left my Griffin being shot by a missile launcher. That's awkward.
Raiden Tama is disappointed in you. Stand firm.
Load that. There's another librarian. And get Dark Awakening. Yeah, Banzai Charge can also act as a rally if you don't want to charge, which is quite useful to have. But yeah, you can definitely see all the inspirations from Red Alert 3 here. You have the tank busters who even go to the ground, whee, and can pop up again. I'm not seeing anything in the darkness here. That's good.
The savages mock you because you are farmers.
Have I lost all my militia ranges? I am not. They lost their flag carrier though. Alright.
All of my family was samurai since ancient times.
You grab that. You grab that.
The discipline of strength
You
instills
grab
resistance
that.
without complaint.
I fear no
And also
challenger,
teach
for
his
my
country.
power is that of my people.
You look around here.
The shogunate has been expanded.
I swear I made 2. There it is.
What is the task that you have for me?
Yeah, I remember
Inform the
detaching my,
engineer Stein to him here.
or getting my worker to go and do something else, but
That we shall require that tool.
To carry the Sashamono is a great honor and duty both.
warrior, no purpose
Yes.
whatsoever. Oh, of course I
All
will.
warfare is of deception
My
and
leader
nature.
knows he serves his master
plasma
better
cannon.
alive. It is good to face
If you do
challenge.
not invest the
How
Bushido
can
daylight,
one learn
it will be difficult
temperament
for you to
without-
die honorably.
and let's.
Great stuff.
I have so many resources. Let's get the Dark Ronin and the Shinobi as well. Where's the war report? By the way? There he is.
Oh, right. You want me to move closer? Oh, protect me.
This battlefield will fall to us this day.
Imagine
You say that.
in your mind it will
Depends who wins the other fight.
madness. It will look wonderful when it is done. I shall build it for Tekarn.
Stand tall. Be worthy of the god's gaze.
Right, let's move you around that. And let's also get a sudden transport. Or sudden chimera, even.
You shall require a Stein to him
We'll
here.
need to upgrade our vehicle cap. Alright, do we want Korn, Nurgle, / or Zinch?
Inform the warriors we have seized this place in their honor.
So you've got a Mark of Zinch ability. You, I remember, having a Mark of Slanesh ability. Yes. What does Alice get?
I will take you right to the enemy's
Nothing.
And fast too, I promise.
Tengu General. She seems to get Zinch. No, she gets Mark of Chaos Undivided. Interesting.
Sweet Shogun, his camera rig is heavy.
Just like then,
The public just seems to have
What do you get? Mark of Corn. Okay, so we have a wide variety, it seems.
I shall provide a passage unseen by the eyes.
Let's grab. Firstly, let's grab this because, quite frankly,
Out of the shadows.
yeah, we'll probably need it.
Not even perpetuals can
How may I
escape.
serve you today?
Let's get this.
And it's flash.
Let's grab the...
I said I wanted to be a filmmaker. I did not really mean... Glory to the shogunate, Ashikaru. Remember above all. I said I wanted to be a
grab that.
filmmaker. I did not really mean this.
Grab the rest.
The code is absolute.
Which code would that be? Well, Tekarn are very heavily siege based, so like in their lore. So maybe I go for Zinch.
I do not worry about surpassing others.
Maybe if I go for Zinch, he'll make sure that I don't get murdered by Tau.
The primordial truth has shown us eternity.
Or he will, whichever. It's Zinch after all. Anything could happen with Zinch. Start building that. Get the squad cap increase from there. Okay, get the Makoto mainframe uplink, because that allows us to call in a rather fancy ability. And it means I won't have to record an extra scene for the model showcase.
This is yours. Behold, Martians, true progress. I shall build it for Tekarn.
Why can I not? Game.
Has been seized. This
Okay, my game has broken. I cannot. Oh, not this bug. I know this bug. Shit. Okay. Hopefully I can still do everything. I seem to be able to control most things. But yes, my UI has broken. Or parts of the UI have broken.
Combat engineer. Any task?
Which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? That's Commander Long Strikes. Shit. Oh, and I just lost my Grey Spectre squad. So, Grey Spectres, you didn't get to see them, but... yes, that is a... Ooh, ethereal. Well, that would be a shame if he died, wouldn't it? Oh dear, this is a problem. Where's my transport? There it is. Get these. God damn it, I've lost most of my units.
Almighty Shogun, the rising sun has all in this lawless galaxy. It is said.
It seems like the tank busters, however, really did not give a flying toss about that.
I may be born a Valentine, but Tekarn is my home.
Charge! So, Grey Spectres are Elysians. Okay, yeah, so the Tau is winning at the minute. Well, we should probably get an incinerator then. I can't remember how to get the Tesla cruiser, because yes, the Tekarn can get a Tesla cruiser as well, after nicking it from the Volstrians. Quite literally nicking it from the Volstrians. That's the whole thing around that. Can I lure them over here? Because it looks like they're going to try and attack my base. Shinobi, you really shouldn't be in there on your own. Something just fell over. This is not a fun. Wait, no, come up here. Sudden transport. Get over there. Right.
Oh, right.
Everyone getting that?
Shall provide you with passage unseen by the eye.
Stop blocking people. Run the fuck away. Yeah, if we can...
We bow to your wisdom, Almighty Shogun.
If we can sort of choke point them.
I am but a most humble transport for your use.
Ronan, get up front. You two stand back.
I shall provide you with passage unseen by the eye.
Get over here.
I have to speak.
And you start attacking.
Only other shall see you remembered. Victory comes.
We are in arriving to the primordial.
Where's that Giga Fortress? Getting that. Move away from the Tau Commander, please.
To understand the way of eternity is the
That Lehman Russ is about to explode. I'm not overly surprised. It is getting attacked by a broadside. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, they just got EMP'd.
I may be born a paladin.
Do everything we can. How many things do they have? Okay. We have a Giga Fortress at least. That will, yeah, let's get Signal of Thunder as well.
To understand the way of eternity.
We need to be careful with you. I think we're about to get...
State your worry.
you sit over there. Okay, Giga Fortress. Go! Hyperion Protocol. What's that do? Requires Mark of Zinch. Well, this sounds hilarious. Let's get that. Charge! Get our champions so the Mark of Zinch applies. And suddenly explosion! Oh, I didn't use the ion cannon. Oh, that's annoying. Although it looks like they do have another thing somewhere, so I might get to use it yet. So I have lost both Great Spectres. I've lost my Ballista Maiden. The Shinobi's back up. Ooh! A big battle suit! Well, it would be a shame if it fell over, wouldn't it? Actually, can this, yeah, this can get stuck in melee. Sucker. Ooh, hazard suit. Where'd that Allied gunship come from? Yes, that is me doing the voice acting, by the way. I tried to do my best George Takei impression. It didn't go quite as I wanted it to, but you know what? I still consider it fine. So, yeah. And now I'm just summoning lightning everywhere. Ooh. I think they're probably all going to die before... Okay, that's a lot of lightning.
I fear no challenger, for my power is that of my people.
Go over there.
Listen, for the thunder with
And over there.
the Shogun's divine will.
Your Excellency.
An excellent day. Wouldn't you agree so?
Tau Barracks.
I understand. State your query.
So, you know what? That's as good a place as any. And you know what? Shinobi!
has betrayed me.
Well, you deserve that. You're the one who decided to walk into an ion cannon.
Give the signal, and we shall unleash hell upon the
Discipline
barbarians.
of strength instills resistance without courage, and also teaches
Get
God.
that. Ooh.
You embark on an uncharted path. Infinite discipline of strength instills
King Fortress. Yeah,
also
you.
teaches God.
Jesus Christ, that does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, that was the enemy's HQ. That's a shame, but destroyed our enemy's HQ. Would you like to look around the map before continuing? I'll show off all the models in the post gameplay bit, so it's fine. So yeah, that's a game with Tekarn. I dragged it out as much as I could, and I felt I did much better job at dragging it out than I did with the racks. So you know what, I've called that a success. 52-0-52. Yeah, there's a few things I didn't get to show off, but you know what? It's fine. You'll get your hands on this at some point anyway, and you can see it all for yourself. So, if you give me a moment, I'm going to die. I'm going to resurrect myself, and then I'm going to, load into a dev game so I can start showing off all the models in between coughing fits. So, back in a moment. First things first is the combat engineer. The combat engineer is a builder, but unlike the heretic, this combat engineer has a gun and very much knows how to use it, a plasma gun specifically. Now, of course, it's not going to be taking on entire armies by itself, but it can still defend itself at the very least. And with the Mark of Zinch, it can run away really, really fast. Next is the Militia Rangers, or the Ashikaru, as they are also known. These gentlemen are your basic capping unit. They come in a squad that's relatively small when you compare it to other guard races, but they generally dish out a little bit more punishment, and when you get to tier 2, you can upgrade them with heavy stubbers. You can also, in tier 3, give them a plasma cannon, and they are led by the Sashimono. I told you my pronunciation's terrible. But long story short, the banner bearer, or Sashimono, increases the health and morale as is normal for the leaders here, but it also gives a small health regeneration rate increase to the squad that it is with. And of course, it applies the mark that you selected. The warriors are your bread and butter unit. They, from tier 1, can actually use grenades, right off the bat. That is to sort of make up for the fact that they cannot actually get any weapon upgrades. They can't get grenade launchers, they can't get plasma guns, they can't get anything like that. Additionally, they can, at tier 2, get a upgrade that increases the damage of their las guns. So, the fact they can't get weapon upgrades is not exactly the end of the world. As of tier 2, they can also get Banzai Charge. Using this ability will increase their movement speed, their melee damage, and provide morale immunity for a short duration. So if you stick them on assault stance, they will hit things with their sword rather hard. Now, of course, they aren't going to be outfighting things like dedicated melee specialists, like, say, assault terminators, or, I don't know, NIDs. But, hey, at least that gives them some chance in melee combat. They are warriors, after all. The next unit is... Oh, there they are. The next unit is the Tank Buster. They come equipped with las cutters, which are good for dealing with vehicles. They also, as you just saw, can burrow in order to ambush any vehicles that may pass over them. They also do apply a very, very brief armor sundering effect, but not to the degree of the likes of Pathfinders and Deathmarks. The next infantry on our list is the Ballista Maiden. The Ballista Maiden is an anti-infantry specialist who can fire what are essentially high-tech crossbows at the enemy from quite a distance away. They also come equipped with the ability to use the Vortex Arrow, which deals damage and breaks the morale of whoever it happens to hit. Their leader, however, is more of a melee specialist, designed really to keep them safe from anyone who might get a little bit too close. Though she can, of course, carry a plasma pistol as well, as you can see. Although I ignored the marked units for Vrax, I felt I couldn't really leave these guys out. These are the Shogun Shadows. They are a Nurgle-specific unit which carry eradication ray cannons that can pretty much melt infantry, and also do pretty good damage to light vehicles. Anything that survives a hit from that is going to be affected by radiation damage over time. They also have grenades that can do decent damage, and they reduce armor and health of the targets over time. Their squad leader, the commissioner there, he has an arc pistol that can stun enemy units hit, and he can also rally the squad should they break. Also, you may recognise his voice, and I shall ask now. Renegade Guide when, Commissioner? Finally, for infantry, the Yanks have turned up. Yes, the Grey Spectres are Renegade Elysians, and they come equipped with grenade launchers. Their leader has a concussion grenade launcher, and the standard variant has a standard grenade launcher. They are pretty good at disruption, and they are also flying units. They are jump jet infantry, if you were. First on our commander list is the Eternal Shogun, aka Daimyo Makoto. She is a heavy melee fighter, and she is pretty good at the whole melee fighting thing. She can execute enemy units when they get to red health, essentially. And she also has the Necron Lord's Lightning Field ability, although her own variant of it. Later in the tiers, you can also get Execute Order 44, which will give a morale and armor buff to all units on the map. Or rather, all infantry on the map. If you selected the Mark of Tzeentch, you can also use Warp Time, which will give an attack bonus to the squad that she is attached to, and herself of course, and will also give protection against enemy attacks. Her final ability is to call down the Great Ion Cannon, although that does require an extra and extra research, and is very late game. Finally, she debuffs the entire army when she dies, much like the Ethereal, so try not to lose her. I mean, she's called the Eternal Shogun. She's not really eternal if she dies, does she? Next is the Tengu General. The Tengu General is your secondary commander, and she can summon Blood Cult Assassins. 3 of them, specifically, in a squad. She also has the ability Storm the Front, which allows you to kill an enemy unit while restoring your own troops' morale. She can also order the use of knee mortars, which are carried by both militia rangers and warriors after a later game upgrade. Finally, she can use Storm Call, which calls in an EMP mortar strike on a target location. Her rifle is not the fastest firing thing in the world, but it most certainly packs a punch. The final of the standard commanders is the Grand Guji. And yes, I'm still probably pronouncing that wrong. This lady is a melee fighter, and actually has 2 models. This is the model that you can activate via a win condition, and personally is my favourite model, so I'm sticking with it. Her other model is more befitting her nature as a hero of Slaanesh. She has several abilities. A Spirit Column, which can damage and toss enemy units aside. If you select the Mark of Slaanesh, she has a look at one's true nature, which means that enemies will fight amongst themselves, at least the targeted squad. And she also has Divine Impact, which is available if you select the Mark of Chaos Undivided and replaces Spirit Column. Instead of having a little puny column to come up and knock enemy units around, you just call in a massive fucking meteor, because why not? And of course, what faction would be complete without an assassin? The assassin in question here is the Shinobi. The Shinobi has a healing gourd, which can just heal him over time. He has a smoke bomb, which allows him to infiltrate and increase his movement speed. And he has Shadows Die Twice, which allows him to revive on death. If that wasn't a big enough hint as to what this is a reference to, then I'm afraid I can't really help you. Although, quite frankly, the name of that game is wrong. In my instance, it's more of Shadows Die 225 billion times. You can also get access to the Dark Ronin of Sangonomiya. Yes, that one. This Marine carries a minigun that can just absolutely shred infantry. He can also use boiling blood grenades as long as you have taken the Mark of Khorne, which causes damage to enemies it hits and also causes them to frenzy, attacking basically anything in range. He can also use Burn Out the Apostates, which pulls a missile launcher out of his backside in order to deal with both infantry and vehicles, although the missile launcher only lasts a very short duration. Still, it does a lot of damage, so I don't see why Khorne would be complaining. Coming to you live from the base of Tekarn is the THK War Correspondent. The War Correspondent is he's basically just a Ashikaru, aka Militia Ranger, that has been given a camera and told to record everything that goes on for the purpose of propaganda. After all, the people at home must know the truth of what is going on. And of course, any footage where they get completely trounced will probably not make it to the screens of the people. But hey-ho. His purpose in the battlefield is to increase the morale of the squad that he is attached to. After all, who doesn't want to be on TV? While they're getting shot at, they can just look at the camera and say, "Hi Mum, I'm on TV," before they get promptly blasted in the face. The person that he is targeting will also take increased damage. And he can detect infiltrators, so, you know, he still has some use beyond being a propaganda person. The first of the alternate heroes is Daimyo Phoenix. Daimyo Phoenix carries a railgun. A railgun which is good versus both infantry and light vehicles. He also has a missile backpack that he can fire once every 180 seconds or so. At least at the time of recording. He also has a wrist-mounted flamer after research, which is very similar to the Let It Burn ability. In fact, it is the Let It Burn ability, except it's pretty and purple. He also has access to cool down the ion cannon, should you not have the Eternal Shogun out. And upon death, he has a 67% chance to revive. I mean, he is called Phoenix after all, even if it is spelled slightly differently. He also has a friend, Alice here. Alice has a heavy stubber, and that can suppress enemy units. Also, with the relevant research, she can cool down a giant freaking space laser, or space multi-mega melter thingy, as the case may be. This is the way. Next in the list of alternate heroes is Balalaika. She is a former Vostrian Vindicare, which now works with the Tekarn Shogunate. Being an assassin, she can dodge incoming attacks and execute any enemies that are on red health orb around that point. If you get the Mark of Tzeentch, she can infiltrate, because she does not come infiltrated as standard. She also has an active ability called Lockdown Rounds. Lockdown stuns a target enemy vehicle. That's right, she can turn into the Ghost from StarCraft 1. Although, unlike the Ghost from StarCraft 1, at least with this character, your vehicle will not be stunned until the actual 42nd millennium. With Balalaika, you can get the second Spetsgruppe Stalkers. This is a infantry unit that is only available if you have actually got her. They are essentially a group of infiltrated sniper users. They are very good at taking out infantry, and they come equipped with melter bombs, just in case they do happen to come across any vehicles. The last of the alternate heroes is Colonel Benedict. Colonel Benedict comes with a combination lasgun and crack grenade launcher, and he can use Rebel Yell, which allows him to increase the attack and morale of all units around him, including himself. If you select the Marcus Thanesh, then he will get the Stimpak ability, which increases his morale to maximum, increases his health regen, and increases his attack and movement speed, although there is the risk of him taking damage when he uses it. With the Mark of Khorne, however, you can unlock the Zephyr artillery bombardment, which, well, as you can imagine, is an artillery bombardment. You target it, things go boom. That's kind of how that works. Although the strikes are obviously randomized, so you need to be careful about where you stand. Now, he is a Elysian, but he prefers to just wander around. He does, however, still use his jetpack, so he can, of course, jump. He is well, that's kind of lucky, because although he is a elite commando unit, he is also a little bit squishy. So, yeah, you need to be a little bit careful, or he'll be turned into eggs Benedict. Another squad brought in by the alternate heroes wing condition is this Easter egg squad, the Yorha Defender Squad. These automata require the TA-1 Titan research, and then require an additional research after that. They come equipped with Volkite weapons, but can be upgraded with a grav gun or flamers should the situation demand it. They also have the same mechanic as the stick bombers in the form of being able to throw multiple grenades. They can also self-destruct, dealing heavy damage to pretty much anything around them, including friendlies, so don't use it when you're in the middle of your own army. Their leaders come equipped with a cryo gun and a rail rifle, respectively. And yeah, these folks do quite a lot of damage, but they are very, very late game. And now moving on to vehicles. For vehicles, we have the Sudden Chimera here. The Sudden Chimera is it's a Grav Chimera, and it has a grenade launcher on it. It doesn't have any other guns, and the grenade launcher does not actually do any damage. It just is a smoke grenade launcher that can cover the advance of any units it drops off. Once you get to tier 3, you can also upgrade it to be infiltrated. As of recording, this currently carries 3 squads. So, yeah, you can load up your squads, send your transport behind enemy lines, and then blow up pretty much whatever you want. It is not very tanky though, so if it gets spotted, chances are you're going to have to abandon Floating Chimera, and yeah. Although it does have a jump, so it can at least try and escape from whatever situation you've managed to get it into. Next up is the Striker Sentinel. The Striker Sentinel is an anti-air configuration of the Sentinel. However, it can shoot infantry as well. It does, its missile launcher can point down. It just does, less damage to them. That's about it, really. That's all there is to say about this. It sadly cannot turn into a helicopter. Now we have the Griffin Thunder Mortar. The Griffin Thunder Mortar is it's a Griffin mortar that's been outfitted with lightning bombs. Yes, it fires lightning bombs at people, which is infinitely hilarious. It also has a standard bolter on the front or heavy bolter on the front for defense. But its main shtick is, blowing the ever-living fuck out of anything in a 20-mile radius. Okay, maybe not 20-mile radius, it's still relatively short-ranged, but hey, at least it gives them a bit of a shock. Your early battle tank is the Tsunami tank. The Tsunami tank is a grav tank which comes equipped with a coil gun. The coil gun is effective versus enemy vehicles and can actually be upgraded a tier 3, I believe, for extra damage. It lacks in armor a bit, but what it lacks in armor, it makes up for with speed and maneuverability. The Tsunami can jump. So, all you need is a wave of these to just jump behind the enemy armor and blast them. And, well, that should deal with them quite nicely. Tekarn's aircraft is the Thunderbolt Zero. The Thunderbolt Zero comes equipped with las cannons and multi-lasers, and is generally used for dogfighting. It can, of course, do decent damage against other units as well, but that's its main purpose. It can also use a kamikaze attack. So if you click the button, target the ground, it will charge over there and explode, dealing damage to everything in the radius. After all, as the troll Bat Rider says, the ends justify the means. Tekarn do have a second aircraft. However, this one is hidden behind a wind condition. A wind condition called Cathay Reinforcements, which, while it does mainly adds extra units to Krieg, it does add this to Tekarn. This is the Storm Rider. It was created by studying fallen knife scythes, and comes equipped with 2 Tesla cannons. These Tesla cannons can stun its target, and by aircraft standards, this thing is relatively tanky, though not quite as tanky as things like the Hell Talon and the actual more fortress-like aircraft. It is also rather fast, so it's definitely quite good for hit-and-run attacks. And I have totally not kept calling this thing a Banshee while trying to record this segment. Next vehicle on our list is the Shogun Shadow's Damocles Command Rhino. It comes equipped with a Combi Plasma Storm Bolter, and can call in an EMP bombing run, just to make sure that any units in the target area that are vehicles are basically useless. It also has some decent stealth detection capabilities, for it was made to counter the Tau specifically. And also, given the person who voiced it, they're probably looking for new things to add to the Unification wiki page. If you have a problem with heavy vehicles, then maybe give the Neutron Laser Destroyer a try. The Neutron Laser Destroyer, well, it does what it says on the tin. It fires a neutron laser at something, and then it will explode. The enemy, hopefully, not the Neutron Laser Destroyer itself. It is very good at cutting through heavy armor, but obviously it's going to be next to useless when dealing with hordes of infantry. And clearly it was designed by an engineer who was overcompensating for something, but, you know. And then, of course, you have the classic, the Lehman Russ. The Lehman Russ is your mainline battle tank, and much like the other Lehman Russes, can be upgraded with various, well, variants. You can get a Lehman Russ Punisher, you can get an Executioner, you can get an Eradicator, but only if you have the Mark of Nurgle. You can get an Incinerator, and you can get a Tesla, if you have the Mark of Tzeentch. Yes, that's what I was missing in the gameplay segment, was the Mark of Tzeentch. Each are obviously good at dealing with different things, but, hey, you can't go wrong with a Lehman Russ now, can you? Unless you're the Orcs. Say hello to the Rogel Dawn. A lot of people were asking for it to be in the mod, and here it is, although I suspect they were asking for it to be in a loyalist faction. Instead, Tekarn have seen it on the battlefield, nicked some, and have started making their own. Supposedly calling it the Perturabo battle tank, probably out of spite. It comes with an Oppressor battle cannon, a Castigator Gatling cannon, and some Sponson multi-melters. It's a pretty good jack of all trades, and is pretty heavily armoured, so it's not going to be going down anytime soon, unless you focus it with massive amounts of anti-armor, of course. And now on to your relic units. To start with, you get the Signal of Thunder, which is a standard Baneblade pattern, but instead it fires warp shells. I mean, why mess with what already works? Also, it has a much better paint job. Take that, Imperium. Sharing a cap with the Signal of Thunder is the Stormlord. The Stormlord is a Baneblade variant which has been equipped with Vulcan Megabolters. These are essentially chain guns, so any infantry that get in the way of it is, well, they're going to seriously regret their decision. It also has a rather large transport capacity, allowing you to move quite a lot of troops around with it. It can be upgraded with a plasma blast gun to turn it into a Stormblade. It does retain its transport capabilities when you upgrade it, so you don't have to fear about that. If you feel your Air Force needs a little bit more punch, then here's the Gigafortress. The Gigafortress is a flying fortress. It has a solar atomizer on it. It has more missiles than you know what to do with. It's got Volkite. It's got everything. It is very good at blowing things up. Though, of course, being a flying unit, it's not the most tanky thing in the world, though it is certainly more tanky than your average aircraft. With the Mark of Tzeentch, it can also be upgraded to spawn lightning at any ground units nearby. And yeah, this thing certainly lives up to its name of Giga Fortress. Your Tier 1 Titan is the King Oni. The King Oni is a knight that has been upgraded with 2 gigantic chain swords. It also has 2 missile batteries on its shoulders, can fire lasers from its eyes, and has some sort of heavy stubber. So it's got quite a lot of weapons to deal with whatever it really needs to deal with. It can upgrade one of its hands with a lightning cannon, or if you have selected the Mark of Slaanesh, you can give it a Blastmaster. It has the Cry of Blood ability, which allows it to go berserk and, well, deal extra damage. You can't control it during this time, so just dump it in the middle of a bunch of enemies and watch it go berserk. Quite literally, as a matter of fact. Don't get in its way. Your Tier 2 Titan is the Shogun Executioner. The Shogun Executioner is a melee-only Titan that can do devastating damage in melee. It can actually execute enemies, so if they get low enough, it will instantly kill them. It also has the Well of a Billion Trillion Souls ability. This generates an electric field around its feet that knocks back everything and deals severe damage to it. Yeah, if you're in melee with this thing, you're in for a bad time. So yeah, that's it. That is Tekarn. And yeah, they are a very fun faction to play. As you can tell, yes, they are very homebrew. I mean, like I said earlier, you had about 3 lines to work with, or the devs had like 3 lines to work with when it came to actually creating things for them. But I feel that they have still turned out very well. And of course, if you're one of those people who aren't really a fan of a lot of this sort of stuff, then sort of homebrewing and Easter eggs and references to other media, then you can stick to the Vrax branch. And yeah, there is something for everyone. So, with that, I shall call it a day. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed it. And until next time, I have been Caldaris. Goodbye.